Hey everybody, Heather here. Thanks for coming by to color. Today we're going to be doing this super cute Saturated Canary image called Free Hugs, and her little piece of paper says coupons, free hug on it. Isn't she adorable? I think she's just super cute with all that long hair. Awesome. I'll put a link down in the description box to all the supplies I used and to the card kit, so if you'd like one, head over and pick one up. Also, I have stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let's color. So I'm going to start out by outlining my image, and for that I'm going to use C0. And I don't do anything too technical. I'm just going to work my way around my girl here. And over and around, and I do it first, so in case I color on her and I want to erase it, I can just use my colorless blender to daub it right off. But usually I don't worry because C0 is pretty light and you're not going to see very much of it even if you do get some on your girl. So we're just going to work our way around to the other side, get inside this bow, and let's do right in here and inside that bow, and work our way back down to her leg. And she's got a little spot right here. I'm just going to give it a little V right there in the middle. I'm going to do her skin now, and for that I'm going to use E21, E00, E000, and for her cheeks I'm going to use R20 and R30. And I'm going to start with E21, and let's go down here and do her hands first. So she's got her thumb here, and her little fingers. And then I'm going to do E00. And then E000 just to fill them in. Pretty quick and easy. And we'll move up here and we're going to do her face. So again, I'm going to start with my E21, and I'm going to go all the way around. First, let's do her ear, otherwise I might forget it. I'm just going to do all the way around her face. Let's do her neck right here while I'm there. And I'm going to work my way around to this side of her face. And again, let's do this ear. And I'm going to want to go underneath of these bangs. Okay, and then for her nose, I'm going to do right around the edge of her nose. And then I want to give her a little bit of definition. So I'm going to take my pen. And I'm just going to draw a little slash right there. I also think I'll do her underneath of her lips right here on this corners a little bit. Then I'm going to grab E00 and a little bit to her ears and just work my way around her face. Go underneath of her lip there, and I'm going to go around her eye. And I'm not worried if it's not blended all the way, because I'm going to add cheek color and then I'm going to go over it, and this is E000. So for cheeks, I'm going to start with R20, and I want it to be, let me tip her a little bit here. Start over here next to the side and bring it out to that little dot. Same for this one. Let's work on the side and pull that out. And then I'm going to go with R30 and soften the edges, and I'm bringing up the side right there by her eye too. Then I'm going to go back with my E21 and add some color. and E00. And we'll go around her lips. And around that eye there. And then E00 just to fill it all the way in. And I think her cheeks look pretty good, so I'm going to leave mine like that. But if you wanted to darken those up, you would just go over them a second time. Let's do her lips next, and for that we're going to use R35 and R32. I'm going to start with my R35. And I'm just going to go along the inside. Same for this one. And she's got a little space there that looks like her mouth is open a little bit. I'm going to leave that. And then I'm going to take R32 to fill it in. Next, let's do her eyes and see if I can zoom in a little bit more there. And for that, we're going to use E33, E33, B14, and B12. I'm going to start with my E33. I just want to add a little bit of darkness up here at the edges of her eyes. I'm actually going to use this color because it didn't stamp very well to add some color to her pupil here and kind of darken that up. Then I'm going to grab B12. I'm going to go right over the top of that E33 and go past just a little bit. And then finish it off with B12. I'm going to blue those up a little bit more, so I'm going to grab B14 again and make it just a little bit darker. And then B12. Now let's go do her hair, and for that we're going to use E47, E57, E43, and E53. I'm going to start with my E47, and I'm going to add some little shadow spots in here. And this piece looks like it's kind of folding underneath, so I'll get right there. And of course, we want to do right next to where the hair bow is. And then where it's coming out the other side of her knot, I'm going to do that side. And then we're just going to work my way along this part. And then we're going to go down and do this side. So again, let's do a little bit on each one of these little tails. And where it's coming out of her ponytail wrapper. And I think I'll do right here where it's kind of, it looks like it kind of comes out from behind her ear. Give that just a little dab. Not too much, just a little bit. And then I want to do this side of her part, and I need to turn her a little bit more here. Okay, next we're going to grab E57, and I'm just going to add some more color. And I think I'll add a little bit here where it looks like it's kind of turning. And let's add a little bit of that right here where it looks like it's kind of tipping behind her ear just a little bit. And I think I'll bring this color up past her ear, like that. And then we'll go do this side. And this side that looks like it's kind of dipping out from behind, I'm going to put a little darker color in there. And here's one that I should have maybe put a little darker in. I'll add that later, but I'll do that side. And then coming out from behind the ponytail. And we'll just work our way back up here to the top. And I'm going to turn it this way. And we'll get the top of her head. Oh, she's looking good so far. So then we're going to go with E43. And just work our way back to the other side. And then do this side. I really like all the definition she's got in this girl's hair. She looks really pretty. And tip my girl so I can flick better on this side. And I think I'll bring that streak down just a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to go with our last color, which is E53. Fill in this last little section down here underneath of her hairline. And then this side. And I'm actually leaving a little bit of white in there, just a few. I'm not being really careful about covering up every little section this time. I know it'll probably drive me crazy later, but I've been trying to leave a little bit more highlights in there a little bit. And then we're going to go from this side. And I just got this one little piece right here next to her face that I think I'll color in just a little bit. Okay, now I like to go back afterwards and add a little bit of dark up here at the top. So I'm going to do my E47 again. And just add a few little dark strands in here. And same for this side. And here I can add that little section I missed. Now let's work on her shirt, and for that we're going to use Y13 and Y11. So I'm going to start with my Y13. I'm just going to go along the edge of this paper clear across, and I want to do her shoulders. And then for her little arm joints, I'm going to put a little dash right there. And then I'm going to take our Y11 and go right over the top of that. And I want to darken it up, so I'm going to go back with my Y13. And just give it another little dash of color there. And I left her collar white. And I'm going to add some dots to her shirt with my RV19. So I'm just going to take my pen straight up and down, and I'm just going to barely touch my paper and give her shirt a few little dots like that. then we're going to use this color, which we're going to go up here and do our hair bow. So we're going to use RV19, RV17, and RV15. And let's just start with our RV19 right here. And we'll do this side. Bring that color up a little bit here. And for this side, let's do our hair bow a little bit. And then this kind of curves in, so I'm going to do that side a little dab. And this looks like it kind of buckles in, so I'm going to do a little dash there. Then I'm going to grab RV17. And just work my way, adding some color. And then I'm going to finish those off with RV14. Like that. And this is really pink. And I don't use this color very much, so I maybe should have taken the other end off because it's really wet. It's kind of making a mess. Went out the lines a few times there, but that's all right. I will fix that later. Now let's do our pants. For that we're going to use W2, B01, B00, B000, and then our colorless blender to add some stripes. So I'm going to start with my W2, and I just took this, gave the inside of her pants a little bit of shadow. Next is B01, and you're going to go right over the top of that 4, or that W2. And then I'm going to use this color to go down this seam right here. And then B00. And then B000 to fill it in. And I want to go over it a second time, so but this time I'm not going to use the W2. I'm just going to go B01, as the W2 has enough shadows underneath there for me. And again down this little seam. And then B00. And then my B000 to fill it all the way in. And then I took my colorless blender because I wanted her pants to have a little bit of some lines on them. So I just took my colorless blender and I'm just going to hold it and make some stripes. And then I let it dry for a second. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a little bitty line there. And I'm going to go back over my lines a second time. Darken them up just a little bit. I wanted them to just be a little bit of texture onto her pants, but not be too drastic. That leaves us with this paper. So for that we're going to use E50, E000, and the colorless blender. I'm going to start with my E50. And let's go ahead and give this top page a little bit of a shadow, and then do some of these back pages just a little bit where they're kind of touching the other paper. And then I'm going to go down this line right here, and then I'm going to flick this out away from my line. And I think I'll actually color in this back section. Next, I'm going to grab my E000. And we're going to add some more color to these back pages. And then I'm just going to take my pen and go right over the top of this inside section. And then I'm going to take my colorless blender and just go over the entire page. And my ink didn't go all the way out to the edge of the paper. Right out here, I wanted it to stay white at the edges. So there is our beautiful free hug image. Didn't she turn out super cute? I added some Wink Stella glitter pen in clear to her hair, and then I used the Wink Stella clear brush pen to add some sparkles to these hair bows. And I'm going to get some of those for the store. I wanted to try it out first, and I really like it, so I'm going to get some of those clear pens and have those in the store for us to use. So here is the finished card, and for this card, I actually wanted to show you that I used this Dynamics Blueprints 14 die. So all the pieces that I cut out for my card here came out of this die. It was awesome. And there's so many more pieces that I could use to make other cards, but I loved that it had all these top pieces. So I've used from the brown up, all the pieces were on in the die here. And I did actually have to make the card. It's I want to say 5 1/4 inches square, so that the pieces wouldn't have this huge white section on the outside. But that was okay because I had smaller envelopes. So if you haven't tried these dies out, I highly recommend them. There's lots of different parts in here. They are a little bit more expensive, but for all the pieces you get, it's comparable to buying a smaller die set. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'd be happy to get back to you on those. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you had fun coloring with me today, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.